I'm Dr. Greg Parsons, and for the first time I'm here live. I just wanted to show you that in fact I am the way I look in my pictures that I post for you. This is a little more difficult to get all together for my production studio, but I figured since we're in the week 4 of the class, it's about time that I made a live appearance. So we're entering the 4th week, and we have a discussion post and another paper due. So we're going to go through the assignments and talk a little bit about what our topic is for this week. I think it'll be an interesting week. We're getting into organizational culture and its effect on organizational behavior and also leadership. So both your discussion post and your paper are going to be dealing with this particular subject. So I hope you find it interesting. So spend a few minutes going through the assignment, preparing for next week, and if you have any questions, you know how to reach me. Now I realize that you may find the volume levels between the first opening slide and the subsequent slides will be different, and you may have to adjust the volume either up or down because of the recording relationship when I do the actual video. But you can make adjustments for that. What I wanted to do was first start talking about the relationship between organizational culture and innovation, since that's one of our big topics for this week. And it's always a good idea, I've been told, to open with a little bit of humor. Dilbert is one of my favorites for a variety of different topics that they're able to address in a quasi-realistic fashion. Another one of my favorites is The Office. I like the earlier Offices rather than the later ones. But anyway, a little humor to get us started today. So we're going to take a quick look at week 4 assignments. You have some readings, and you have a discussion post, and you have another paper. Fortunately, it's not too long. And we'll take a look at the discussion as we normally do. So the assignment for this week is for you to find in the library the article Organizational Culture and Innovation, a meta-analytic review, Organizational Culture and Innovation. And this was by Bushkins and Bausch and Balkin. And your assignment question is to, based upon this paper, how do you see that your paper on organizations, how does that fit into these authors' ideas on the effects of organizational culture on innovation? Okay, so that may sound a little confusing, but we'll work kind of backwards because, okay, we're assuming you're starting to write your paper and you've come up with some research and you've come up with some ideas. All right, now when you're approaching the discussion post, you need to review this article, okay, and then use this article as a framework for how your paper fits into this particular field of study. It's actually leadership and innovation, management and innovation is a huge topic these days, and addressing the issue of how organizational culture affects innovation, I think, is a very interesting topic. Okay, so the discussion topic is explaining how your paper that you're writing for this week fits into these authors' ideas on how organizational culture affects innovation. Is that clear enough? All right. The paper you're going to be writing, again, is related. Here you're going to select an organization as a subject. Now, I suggest that you might think of using your current organization because you'll be much more aware of the culture of that organization and how that culture manifests itself in terms of people's behaviors, levels of innovation, and things like that. But if you decide you don't want to do that and you're familiar with another organization, you can choose another one. It doesn't have to be a company. It can be an organization. It could be I don't know, a volunteer organization that you belong to or have belonged to in the past, a different organization that you used to work for. So it doesn't have to be a company. The outcomes are you're supposed to produce a 3 to 5 page description and analysis of the culture and the formal and informal systems that reinforce that culture. Culture doesn't exist by itself. It's manifested kind of like personality through the way people behave, but that behavior is reinforced and defined through various forms of feedback that come from the environment. This might be formal things like reporting relationships, like promotions, write-ups, pink slips, things that are the formal system, a certain time that you've got to arrive, a certain way you're supposed to dress. But also there's informal systems, the way that co-workers influence each other and the way the leadership, the authority relationships work within that particular organization. So I'd like you to be specific with regard to how the systems operate and what kind of behaviors and attitudes result. Now, if you think back to the discussion, what you're then supposed to do in the discussion is take a look at this same organization that you've been thinking about for your paper, compare it to what's been written in the paper from the research library, and try to align these two. See where your organization fits with regards to the things that the analysis that the authors are presenting. Excuse me. So your paper should need to choose an organization. Doesn't have to be a company. You might want to think of your current job or one that you've had previously because you have more sense of what the organizational culture is. Describe some of the basic facts. What do they do? What do you produce? Where are they located? How big is it? How many people are there? Some basic things so we have an understanding of what sort of organization you're talking about. And then details, specific details about the culture as exhibited in the formal and informal systems and behaviors that could be observed. So that even if somebody came in from the outside and said, so why are people doing this? What exactly are they doing? Or why are they operating this way? The details you would provide as an explanation would explain why people do what they're doing. And then, of course, as always, you want to tie the example that you're using to relevant academic literature. And I don't think if you go searching on innovation and culture that you'll have too much trouble digging up a whole lot of relevant academic literatures. Try to stick to the peer-reviewed journal articles. Now for your discussion, you need to read the assigned article, need to describe how that theory looks at the effects of culture. Okay, so here you're kind of describing what the article is all about, defining the terms. Then describe how culture, which is, as I've said, kind of like the personality of an organization, the one that you're using for your paper, how that encourages or discourages innovation. Be specific with the types of innovation you're referring to. Okay? And the idea being certain organizational cultures tend to encourage, reward, and actually look for innovation. Other organizations typically avoid innovation and discourage it. And we'll wrap up with one more Dilbert on the management of innovation. So the keys to success. Well, I've gone through this fairly elaborately and in detail, so this is pretty much just review. But while you're researching this week's assignments, look at the overall topic we're dealing with, because both the paper and the discussion post are going to be related, and any research that you do, the journal articles that you'll be using, should probably be applied to both the discussion as well as the paper. Of course, start early. The sooner you can post your initial ideas in the discussion post for the week, the sooner we can get the discussion rolling. By the way, I've been very pleased with the way the discussion is picked up, and I hope that we can contribute the same level of quality as well as quantity of discussion posting. Until next time, goodbye and good luck.